CCCP by Brad Rothbart. Brad, we have Brad with us right now. If you'd like to give us a brief introduction and tell us a little bit about yourself.
About me, well, I have been in the theater for about 30 years now. I have never been on Twitch before, so this is very exciting. Let's see, this is about my second play, and I've been a director, actor, dramaturg, you name it, I've done it. I'm one of those people. The theater is the only place in the world where I feel at home. So that's pretty much me. And I'm thrilled to find these guys. They're utterly fantastic. So happy to be here, and I hope you enjoyed the play.
Thank you very much for being here and for submitting this play and allowing us to perform it.
Sure.
The time is the present. The setting, a neurologist's office. It need not be presentational in any way, just enough to make it clear this is an office and not an exam room. The characters for today's play are...
Hi, I'm Elton. I'm in my 50s, I'm non-binary, and I use a wheelchair.
Hi, I'm Superman. I'm in my early 40s, but preferably younger. I'm tall, built, and a gorgeous hunk of café con leche. Swoon-worthy, preferably in a Superman outfit.
Hello, I'm Dr. Schwartzman. I'm in my 70s, white male. Your classic overbearing Jewish uncle. Lover of dad jokes. Worse the pun, the better. Absolutely convinced that I am hilarious.
And with that said, we'll start the play.
About 7 years ago, I got some news that truly rocked my world. My entire life, from age 4 to 44, I was told that I had cerebral palsy because the umbilical cord was wrapped around my neck and cut off oxygen to my brain. Brain cells don't regenerate, and therefore, the longer the period of oxygen deprivation, the more severe the cerebral palsy. About 5 years ago, a neurologist looked at me and said, "Nope, you had a prenatal stroke." After a few tests, she had conclusive proof. Now, I've tried to explain to people what a big deal this was to me, and no one ever seemed to understand. They just said something meant to be comforting and went on their way. So, with the hope of making it clear, I wrote you all a scene.
Light shift. Lights down on Elton. Lights up on a doctor's office with Dr. Schwartzman inside. Superman knocks on the door.
Dr. Rosenstein?
No. Dr. Rosenstein had a family emergency. I am Dr. Schwartzman. Take a seat. I'll be with you in a minute. Yes, here we go. Man, super. So what should I call you? Super, Mr. Man?
Soup.
Well, Mulligatawny, eh?
Huh?
No, I thought we were playing a word association. I love the association. Soup, short for Superman. I got it. I like it. Friendly. Folksy. Very cute. Very cute.
So Doc, what about these test results? Is everything okay?
Yes, everything's fine. Anybody can have seizures. Supreme Court Justice Roberts had one, you know. All your scans came back clean. You're good to go.
So that's it? There's nothing else?
Actually, there is. I'm not really just a neurologist. I'm from the Galactic Council, okay? Krypton and its four-dimensional sun are doing absolutely fine. Your sister Sylvia says hello.
But I saw it explode.
Oh, that's just a hallucination the council put in your head.
So I can go back to visit everyone?
No,
everybody?
not exactly. You're banned from the planet. It's a long story, but you failed the fourth dimensional test.
I failed time?
No. Whoever told you time was the fourth dimension? The fourth dimension is funk. you aren't that funky.
Whoa, wait a minute. I was sent to Earth because I'm not funky enough?
Yes, that, and your father is an asshole. I should know. I'm his older brother. He's always been an asshole.
Jarrell's an asshole?
Jarrell, my ass. Try Benji.
Dad's name is Benji?
Yeah, we'll get to that. Let me get back to the story. So, when you were born, men with hats were huge. They were bigger than Moby Grape, Klaus Nomi, combined. Let's say it's saying something.
Moby Grape? Klaus Nomi. Also, I think you mean men without hats.
No. Say, let me walk down the street, naked if I want to, right? Huh? Right? No, but nothing. I see. If they saw my face, would I still take a bow? Would they know me now? Right? Yes. Okay. Well, it was definitely men with hats.
Men without hats.
No, with.
Without.
With.
Without.
Okay, Krypton is a hat-obsessed planet. Majority Yamakas natch, so I'm thinking we took their hats away before we sent them to Earth in order not to freak you Earthlings out. Anyway, when you were born, safety dance was everywhere. So Benji tried to get you to dance, and you wouldn't. Then he thought maybe if you changed your names to something majestic, or his idea of majestic, you'd have the confidence to dance. Nothing. So he went before the Council of Krypton and got them to approve the safety dance rider, which said, my son can dance, and if he can't dance, well, he's a no friend of mine, having effectively disowned you. He put you in a capsule, sent you to Kansas. Like I said, he's an asshole.
Wait, I had a name before Kal-El? What was it?
Saul. Short for Solomon. You were his son. Get it? Saul, son, Saul, son. Anyway. He liked all that Mexican stuff, too. Saul, Chihuahua, Laquero, Taco Bell, all that stuff.
That's really offensive and racist.
Whoa, wait a minute. First personal thing you say to me is that I'm a racist. Really? What? No, how are you, Uncle Abe? No, how was the trip, Uncle Abe? All right, because you didn't ask, I'm going to tell you. Okay, so it's another thing your planet got wrong. The phrase is, I give a fuck, okay? Not only is fucking beautiful, but it's natural. It's a perfectly fine way to pay your debts. Instead of giving someone $100, you can give them 100 fucks, because fucking is such a major part of Kryptonian culture, right? Any sudden change in the FR or the fucking rate is seen as a threat to planetary security. Recently, it was announced the fucking rate on Krypton has dropped 10 per day per person to 8. The goal's been 12 fucks per day per person for the last 2 years. So the government took all of the personal transporters, including mine, which I had for years and loved, and replaced them with big group transporters. Yeah, ostensibly to give people more fucking possibilities. So fine, I understand it. I don't like it, but I understand it. So now they're upgrading to the nearest wormhole, which means the express isn't running, only the local, right? Now, I did get a little extra fucking in on the local. I'm just more of an express guy. So it turns out that I upgrade the wormhole. They had to close it completely, which means we all have to get out of the transport, take the space bus to the next wormhole. Trust me, you don't want to fuck on a space bus. You don't really want to even ride on a space bus. Sometimes it's unavoidable. Anyway, so we finally get to the next wormhole. It's already been upgraded. It's absolutely gorgeous. Lots of express transporters. I jump on an express and I'm happily fucking away when finally I realize they don't stop at Earth, because no one ever wants to go to Earth. No offense. So I end up on Venus. I'm not dressed for Venus. No one in the multiverse is dressed for Venus except for Venusians. But still, then I have to wait 6 hours. One local transporter a day to Earth. And where does it drop me? Ulaanbaatar. I got no problems with Ulaanbaatar, though I'm not actually an Ulaanbaatarist. You get it? Anyway, my problem is that halfway around the world from you, I had to take Earth transportation to get from here to there. No one wanted to fuck. So that's how my trip was. Thank you very little. Any questions?
You said something about yarmulkes?
Krypton's an all-Jewish planet. You didn't know that? Jews are totally cool. And the rest of the multiverse, by the way, were like rock stars. Only on Earth where everything gets screwed up.
Wait, so I'm Jewish?
Well, you were born on an all-Jewish planet to a Jewish mother with a Jewish vagina, so I venture to say that's affirmative.
Why send me to Kansas?
Well, you're the least funky Kryptonian in the history of Krypton. Earth, it's the least funky planet in the multiverse. United States, least funky country on Earth. Kansas, least funky state in the U.S. We just wanted you to be among your people. We're also a little obsessed with Kansas. How can a state with both William Burroughs and Wilt Chamberlain live, a state that contains the geographic center of the United States, also brought us the phrase rock chalk jayhawk? How could that fail to be funky? We were hoping maybe you'd be able to find out.
I failed.
Yeah, we noticed.
I have so many questions for you. Why didn't you ever try to contact me?
We did. We even had an Earth band write a song about you, called it Superman Song. Yeah, I know you like hockey. I even named the band after a hockey penalty, you know. Then comes the planes into the towers, and suddenly songs about tragedy and Brazilians. Really, it's just us trying to get you into therapy. Think about it. It's Five for Fighting's only real hit. Who else could have written it? They even said it was about Superman in therapy. You listen? Oh.
Okay, fine. Fine, I didn't listen. Okay, I'm a horrible Kryptonian. That's over with now, though. So tell me about Krypton. Are there any other people from Krypton on Earth?
Well, think about it this way. Anything good you can't quite understand? Kryptonian. Prince? Yeah, Kryptonian. George Clinton? Kryptonian. Kipper Salmon? Kryptonian. Egg creams, bell-bottoms, Kryptonian. Beehive hairdos, Kryptonian. Hunter S. Thompson, Douglas Adams, Sly Stone, Barack Obama, all Kryptonian. We weren't always successful, though. Lutefisk, for example.
Lutefisk is Kryptonian?
Yeah, we had no clue what to do with a bunch of stuff we had lying around. Lying around. Oh, you get it lying around? I crack myself up.
Yeah, I get it. Ha 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 ha. Seriously. Seriously, though. What about major social problems like racism? I don't really understand that. Is that Kryptonian?
No, it is not. It was a problem for a long time, though. Up until the Bulworthites. You're familiar? The movie, right? Well, the Bulworthites, they claim they are the sixth denomination of Judaism, joining the already established Orthodox, Conservative, Reconstructionist, Reform, and Humanist. They're focused on Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, speaking truth through power, practicing self-transformation, emotional generosity, commitment to cultural relativism, That at least is the claim. They wear ski hats instead of yarmulkes. They wrap their ceremonies, this whole thing. Anyway, the reason we put up with them is the revitalization of our economy.
How did a religious sect manage to reinvigorate Krypton's economy?
Are you familiar with Bulworth 8723?
Could I be?
Quote, all we need is revolutionary, free-spirited, open-ended program of procreative racial deconstruction. Everybody just gotta keep fucking. Everybody till they're all the same color. And when the Bulworthites were founded in 1999, they took the quote as their primary sacrament. Since then, we've managed to eradicate race in all children under 10. Equally importantly, we became known throughout the multiverse as the orgy planet.
Wait a minute, Krypton is now the Jewish orgy planet?
Exactly right. In fact, that's our big marketing slogan. Krypton, we put the jism in Judaism. Boom!
Dr. Schwartzman claps Superman on the back, exits. Light shift. Lights up on Elton upstage.
Now, that was exactly how it felt to be told after 45 years that my cerebral palsy was due to a prenatal stroke. You know what? I'm bored. I'm bored with this play. I'm bored with you, the audience. I'm bored with talking about sex. I'm bored with my disability. I don't think it's me, though. I think disability is essentially boring. Has anyone seen The Thin Red Line by Terrence Malick? Anyone? It's a Vietnam War film, but what Malick shows most effectively is the amount of nothing that happens. It's quiet, still. Guys are doing whatever they're doing just to pass the time. And suddenly, firefight. Especially if you have cerebral palsy, it's pretty much like that. Although there are surgeries and physical therapy, for the most part, you have a baseline for your disability, and it's probably not going to get any better. Yes, you can spend your life running hither and yon, trying to get services that allow your life to be easier and your body more compliant, but all that does is make your entire life about your disability. Oh, and fuck Christopher Reeve. See, there's a huge difference between folks with congenital disabilities and those with acquired disabilities. Huge. 90% of the people with disabilities you see running around talking about getting better have acquired disabilities. Now, I can guess that some of you are thinking that everybody with a disability should be entitled to their own feelings about their disability. Wrong. Folks who have acquired disabilities and talk about getting better demonstrate a level of self-hatred I don't even want to entertain. That self-hatred also transforms into a hatred of other folks with disabilities. By saying you want to get better, you, the person who should be standing next to me as we battle for our civil rights, instead line up with the folks who want to oppress me. Here's an example. There was a super Crip a number of years ago who climbed the steps of the Empire State Building in his wheelchair. Maybe he had a small cock and couldn't afford a sports car. Fucked if I know. While the temptation is to say, good for him, the reality is that conservative groups all over the country took this as a reason to block attempts to make buildings accessible. Because if he could get all the way to the top of the Empire State Building, the rest of us must just be lazy. So no, if you have an acquired disability, you don't get to talk about how you want to get better, because it puts the rest of us in mortal danger. Either learn to love yourself or shut the fuck up. Fun fact, as a group, a larger percentage of folks with visible physical disabilities live in poverty than any other marginalized group, including Indigenous Americans. Among people of color with visible physical disabilities, the number of folks living in poverty is even higher. So let's just say you're under the poverty line and a paraplegic in a wheelchair. Most likely, unless something remarkable happens, your chair is gonna suck. Why? Because Medicaid gives everyone the bare minimum. Otherwise, not all the people that need help could receive it. It's also likely you're dependent on accessible public housing, which, besides being almost impossible to find, often sucks. And while I know there's an argument to be made that no one needs wood floors and exposed brick, why should the circumstances of one's birth determine that? Maybe we all need industrial chic and just haven't realized it yet. So, your housing and wheelchair both suck. Now, there are accessible buses, but not every bus is accessible. So instead of waiting 15 minutes for a bus, you could end up waiting an hour. But paratransit, right? That's our thing. Separate but equal and all that. Nice thought, but you have to reserve paratransit. Often 24 to 48 hours in advance. You have to know where you're going and how long you're going to be there. I can't just pop down to Starbucks. I have to know I want to go to Starbucks at 2 p.m. on Wednesday and stay for an hour. Now, understand that paratransit is often 1 to 2 hours late. Makes meeting friends at a movie a bit of a risky proposition. It's much easier to stay home, and masturbation is free. But really, how much can one masturbate? I often hear that folks with disabilities, all they do is complain, and we don't have any real solutions. So hold on to your hats because here we go. First, some organizing principles. 1, we want to lift folks with disabilities out of poverty. 2, it's often hard for folks with disabilities to get around. 3, we want to give ex-cons jobs and reintegrate them into society. So, legalize prostitution for folks with visible physical disabilities. It's the ultimate stay-at-home job. You take some of the folks that are out of jail after serving time on racketeering charges, Jimmy the Bad, Bobby One-Eye, you know the guys, and have them act as a front desk and screening service. This would eliminate the chance of harm coming to any of the workers. Here are the job requirements. 1, must be able to lay on back for extended periods of time. 2, must be able to spend occasional time on hands and knees. 3, must be personable. 4, must be able to get wet or hard on command. 5, must be able to fake orgasm. This would alleviate the boredom, help with the issue of poverty, and most importantly, help reframe disability. How would you rather be known? As a quadriplegic or the best cocksucker in Northwest Wyoming? I'll take cocksucker for 500, Alex. That would most certainly reframe disabled folks in the eyes of society. And how fantastic would the Coalition of Crippled Cocksucking Professionals, or CCCP, be? We could redo the Soviet flag with the hammer as a cock and the sickle as a smiling mouth. More importantly, if we don't do something radical, all we will ever be judged on is our disability and temporarily able-bodied folks' weird shit about our disability. For example, even before I acquired this beauty, I wasn't great at walking long distances. So I took wheelchairs in airports. One Latina airline employee, seeing me in the wheelchair, felt the need to come and pray over me. Another time, I was at the gate and there was a church group on my flight. I saw a Starbucks across the way and got up to go get a salted caramel mocha, as it was the first week they were serving them. I heard a gasp and then a round of applause from the church group, who thought they had just witnessed a miracle. It took every bit of restraint I had not to go, I have been healed. Hallelujah. Through your prayers, this disabled Jew can walk again. The only positive response to my disability came when I went to Mostar in Bosnia. It was 10 years after the war, and there were almost no men between the ages of 25 and 50, as they'd all been killed. Seeing me, folks assumed I was a war hero, and I wasn't allowed to buy anything the entire time I was there. I didn't have the heart to break it to them. Their dear audience is the trinity of the disabled experience. 1/3 the judgments of others, 1/3 poverty, and 1/3 boredom. Add a splash of Lillet, a pinch of Angostura bitters, and a muddled kaffir lime, and serve in a Tervis tumbler.
End of play.